At the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, we see Mando face off against a Zabrak. While it's a really cool cameo that we see at the end of the trailer, the question that we have to answer is, who is that Zabrak? Is he important? And what role will Zabraks play in Season 2 of The Mandalorian? To answer that question, we have to take a step back and speak about the role of Zabraks and who they were. Zabraks were a near-human carnivorous species native to the planet Iridonia. The species had distinctive horns atop their heads and 2 hearts. Although most male Zabraks lived on Iridonia, some lived on Dathomir under the rule of the Night Sisters. These Zabrak were known as Night Brothers and were bred with Night Sisters. The Night Brothers usually went under the name Dathomirian. Zabraks fought against the Galactic Empire's attempts to undermine and subvert them, and instead of surrendering, many joined the Alliance to restore the Republic. Zabraks were considered to be proud, self-determined, and even arrogant to some, yet they nevertheless were one of the most independent species in all of the galaxy. It's important to note at this point that Zabraks and Dathomirians, which is what Darth Maul was, are not the same species. Dathomirians were a sentient near-human species native to the outer rim world of Dathomir. The creation of the Dathomirian species was the result of a hybridization between human females and male Zabrak. But the character that we see at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer is indeed a Zabrak. Unlike Dathomirians, Zabrak did not use the dark side of the Force and were generally less Force-sensitive than Dathomirians. The species was carnivorous, and all Zabraks possessed a ring of small horns that ran from high on their brow round to the neck and the back of their heads too, with all of the horns of males generally being more developed than those of females. Even though Dathomirians were more Force-sensitive generally, this does not mean that Zabraks could not be Force-sensitive. Some indeed were. In terms of their culture, all Zabrak were fiercely independent, usually taking on roles in society that minimized their need to be ordered around by others. This was often mistaken by other species as aloofness or arrogance, which was completely erroneous, although Zabrak were unshamedly proud of being survivors. The majority of Zabraks wore facial tattoos, which often indicated family ties, but could also imply that they were based on an individual's personal taste. So now that we have a grasp on their society, culture and biology, we need to ask, why were Zabrak important in the galaxy during the time of The Mandalorian? This will give us insight into the Zabrak at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, or rather, the Zabraks that we see at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, since there were 2 of them. But then again, the plural of Zabrak is just Zabrak. Despite the species' overall loyalty to the Republic, individual Zabrak could be found across the galaxy with a wide range of allegiances, usually in roles with minimal managerial supervision, such as independent traders, mercenaries, bounty hunters, or scouts. This is where the answer to the question lies. The Zabrak at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer that Din Djarin deals with fiercely are most likely bounty hunters themselves, or perhaps they are bodyguards to the venue that he's at. We must bear in mind that the location we see the Zabrak at the end of the trailer is exactly the same place that we see the Gamorreans fighting literally a few shots before. Since Gamorreans were typically used as entertainment due to their brutal, dim-witted nature, it could turn out that these Zabrak were simply bodyguards to whoever runs that venue. I think this is the character that's going to be most important in The Mandalorian Season 2, at least in this scene. Some worthy things to note is that several Force-sensitive Zabrak joined the Jedi Order, including Zubain and Kornori. Another important thing that we have to note is this is not the first Zabrak we've seen in The Mandalorian. Indeed, in Season 1 we saw an unidentified Zabrak fighter. This such fighter was a Zabrak male in a common house on Sorgan. In 9 ABY, he fought the former rebel shock trooper Cara Dune, who defeated him by making him tap out the tether that connected the 2 fighters. I think Dave Filoni really loves this species, and we're going to see more of them in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm Star Wars Meg.